Egyptology. And I am in Charleston, South Carolina, where I'm going to get a view of this eclipse, I think, like nobody else on CNN, at least today, because I'm going to be... It's going to be pretty cool. Hey, how you doing?
Doing well, Kara. How are you?
I'm good. Don't want to leave you hanging.
Yeah.
So, tell me what I'm going to see.
You're going to get to go for a helicopter ride. We're here in Charleston, South Carolina, at Patriots Point, home of the USS Yorktown. In addition to the Yorktown, you're going to see the Castle Pinckney. You're going to see Fort Sumter off in the distance. You're going to see downtown Charleston, which is full of history. And you're going to get to see a total solar eclipse. So when we get in, use my step stool. We'll hand you your seatbelt.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks.
All right, well, you have fun and fly safe.
Thank you. So we're good to go, yeah? All right, I'm in. Okay, I got my solar eclipse glasses. Can't leave home without those. So, off we go. I studied the ancient world and I'm watching the eclipse from the helicopter. Which is ironic and perfect for my point. Because in the ancient world we could predict this stuff. We predicted this thing years in advance. People made plans for it. People... I know there are a million extra people here right now who are thrilled with this moment. In the ancient world, you only had an eclipse repeat itself in the same place on Earth every 375 years, which means it's not even in the realm of cultural memory. You can't even have your grandparents or great-grandparents tell you about it. It's something that when it happens, is a shock to the system. It's a new and strange thing. It's something you've never experienced before. In a place like ancient Egypt, for example, where the sun rules the heavens, is the omniscient, omnipresent, during the day at least, presence. When you see that blotted out, it's something that must have been extraordinarily frightening. Right now in South Carolina, we're going to have an eclipse that's going to last, with the total darkness, the total blackout, of about 2 minutes. And you can have an eclipse last for up to 7 minutes. Now just imagine that in the ancient world. You don't know it's coming. You're going along with your life. You're already anxious because you have disease and problems and warfare like we have in the ancient world. And all of a sudden the sun goes out for 7 minutes. You might think it would never come back. Extraordinarily frightening experience. Okay, let's see how close we are. Oh, wow. So being in a helicopter, I'm going to be able to see the totality on the horizon. So about 700 feet up, I'll be able to see how the moon shadow is only within this 70-mile band. And I'll be able to see beyond that 70-mile band, I think better than on the ground. I don't know. This is my first total eclipse. So let's find out and see what happens. So in the ancient world, people had all kinds of explanations for this strange and miraculous thing that we're about to witness. And it looks like a bite is being taken out of the sun. And if you look at the camera, you can see that moon that shadow is moving across the sun. And the Pacific Northwest, they thought a bear was taking a bite out of the sun. In Vietnam, it was a frog. In China, it was a dragon. And in ancient Egypt, they don't specifically mention it, which is fitting because it's something that is so potentially dangerous. It's not something the Egyptians would ever write down. To write it down is to give it too much power. So it may be the wounded eye of Horus. It may be that epic battle between Horus and Seth when they're fighting for kingship and Horus's eye is damaged. This could be, the eclipse could have made this mythology take place when people saw it for the first time 7,000 years ago. This could be how mythologies of the ancient world are written, when people see these events in the sky and they don't know how to explain it. So we're less than 6 minutes away from totality. And I'm trying to imagine the ancient people, how they would have reacted to something like this. And there are a number of stories preserved to us. For example, Herodotus talks about this massive epic war that kept going on between the Medes and the Lydians of Anatolia, modern day Turkey. And they're all on the battlefield, the Lydians and the Medes, ready to fight again, yet again. And a solar eclipse occurs right there on the battlefield, and everyone puts down their weapons, they stop fighting, they manage to create a peace treaty, and they start again, they find a union. It makes people rethink who they are and what they are. And there's other things that the eclipse do to make people change their mind. The Roman period, Mark Antony denied the paternity of 2 children that he had with Cleopatra, 2 twin children. And when an eclipse happened, he said, okay, I'm their father. It changed his mind. It changed the way he felt himself to be a human in this world. And he called them Helios and Selene, so he named them after the sun and the moon. Eclipses have given people an idea of what will happen in war. It's been used for divination. So when Alexander the Great was facing the Persians about to take Egypt, there was a total eclipse and his troops freaked out. Everybody stopped. And it wasn't until he talked to the Egyptian priests and he said, what do we do? They said, oh, this is a portent that you will defeat the line of Persian kings. And he did win the battle. He beat Darius III, took Egypt into his grasp. So an eclipse in the ancient world it's a turning point. It's a moment to reevaluate, to sometimes start a war, sometimes stop a war, but to think about what your place is in this human realm on this earth. Now, when I was in elementary school, I remember we were switching classes during a partial eclipse, 1978, I think. And I remember the nuns, I was in Catholic school, saying, don't look up, don't look up. And I remember as a child thinking that the eclipse itself was dangerous and harmful, when that's not what's dangerous and harmful. What's dangerous and harmful is the sun. And in the ancient world, I bet people thought the eclipse itself was dangerous, because when else do people stop and stare at the sun for that long? It's in this moment when you can't look away because the moon shadow is moving across it and you don't know what you're seeing. So you stare at something for longer than you should. And it may have blinded people in the ancient world. And the ancient Egyptians talked about the Uraeus, the goddess Wajid, this cobra who sat on the forehead of the king and spit fire at the enemies of Re. And maybe that's where something like that comes from, another source for mythology. So right now, we're under 3 minutes away from totality, and I have a view all around Charleston, South Carolina. It's flat, and so I can see the horizon in every direction. And as he turns, I'm going to get new directions. I can see there is no traffic almost on that bridge. I'm amazed there's anybody there at all. Things have stopped. People have put down their phones. It's Monday. They're not at work. The Yorktown is covered with people. The park is full of people. Charleston has got a million new residents today to watch this eclipse and experience it. It's getting pretty dark. I feel like I have sunglasses on, but I don't. The helicopter lights have come on. Right now, we have this 70-mile band of space across the United States, from the Pacific Northwest all the way to here, the last stop on the eastern seaboard in South Carolina. And people are all looking up with their eclipse glasses. I can see a hotel swimming pool. People are looking up. People in their sailboats are all looking up. Sailboats aren't moving around now. Everybody's stopped and is looking up. Tremendous number of people here in the harbor. Everyone is taking a moment, taking a breath to remember that we're floating on this ball of rock hurtling around this nuclear ball in our little solar system at the corner of the universe. It's a pretty stunning moment. Oh, it's getting dark. It's amazing. And he just swung down right, oh my God. All the party cruises are out. People are all looking up at the sky. Talk about childlike wonder. This is wonderful. We're about a minute and a half out from full totality, and wow, if it's gonna get darker than this is insane. I can see lightning in the far distance, which is making it even more dramatic. Try that in the ancient world. God's great. So right here in the helicopter, there are some LED lights to make sure that the pilot can see his controls. And so we're safe in this helicopter, safety first. But outside, it's pitch black. So my face is lit, pilot's face is lit, and we're all in this artificial brightness. But outside, oh my God, it is dark. It is insanely dark. Thunder and lightning in the far distance. You know, cloud cover is not so bad if you get this kind of dramatic setting. So I'm 700 feet up, maybe higher, I have no idea, and it's gone from light to almost pitch black. And yet in the horizon, I can see the light. I can see where the moon shadow stops and starts. And it's an extraordinary thing. I can see that I'm at the edge of the 70-mile band. I can see that it's longer in one direction than another. The most dramatic thing that I can see are the lightning strikes. I'm glad they were far enough away for the helicopter to be able to take off, but to see that in the distance is pretty extraordinary. So totality's over. Sun's gonna, oh, it's already lightening up so quickly. It's such an amazing experience to see this. And I am so extraordinarily grateful to have been given this opportunity to not only be in the helicopter to be able to see this, but to have a sun and a moon that appear equal size so that the moon can block out the sun. That right there is just an extraordinary gift of our solar system at the edge of our universe, tucked away in a little galaxy. I think all of us can remind ourselves to feel small, to feel like we need to be caretakers of this place. And instead of looking at this thing as an unpredictable and scary time, but to move forward together and to move away from division and towards a kind of oneness.